Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements.
Ryan, there's nothing better than the fragrance of a summer flower.
Judy, there is one thing that's better, and it's a new episode of Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. What is that, Mortimer? Mortimer, our mascot, is saying that he's hoping everyone is enjoying their summer and staying hydrated on these hot days.
And speaking of hydrated, coming up on the show today, we'll show you some great new watering tools.
And also coming up, we'll have some tips on taking care of your summer grapes.
But coming up first, pickling cucumbers. So this is our time of year where our cucumber plants are, loaded and abundant. We're finding them at farmers markets and roadside stands. So I'm going to show you what the step-by-step on how to take our cucumbers and can them and make dill pickles. So the first thing we want to do is gather all of our materials so we don't have to go run around the kitchen looking for them once we get started. So you need pickling cucumbers, grape leaves or alum, garlic, and dill. So you'll also need vinegar, pickling salt, jars, lids, and rings. To start with, you'll want to sanitize your lids, rings, and jars in boiling water. You'll also want to wash and clean your pickling cucumbers. So starting with a large pot on the stove, we need to make a brine. And in the pot, we'll use 4 cups vinegar, 4 quarts water, and 1 cup pickling salt. We'll bring this mixture to a boil, and this will make about 8 quarts. So next you'll take your sanitized jars and you'll start the process of pickling. We'll add either alum or a grape leaf, 2 sprigs of dill, and a clove of garlic. The alum or grape leaf help make the pickles crisp. Next we'll pack our cucumbers into the jar, leaving just enough room below the neck. Next we'll ladle in the brine, leaving about a ½ inch below the top of the jar. Next, we'll take a clean, wet paper towel and wipe the rim of the jar, removing all the excess brine. This will allow for a nice, clean, tight seal of the lid. So next, we'll put on the lid and the ring and we'll hand tighten. That'll keep the lid from shifting during sealing. So next, we'll put the jars into the canner. We want to do it on the opposite sides to keep it balanced. We'll then lower the jars into the boiling water. We'll put a lid on there and boil it for about 15 minutes. After their hot water bath, we'll remove the jars and let them cool and seal. You may even hear them pop as the lids seal. Dry down the jars and make sure you put the date on the top of the jar. Let the jars sit for 30 days to soak up all that great dill flavor. And with the sealed jars, you'll have up to 2 years to enjoy your dilled pickles. For more information on canning or pickling, go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to the OSU Food Preservation website. Summertime is the time for watering, and having the right tool for the job makes all the difference. Dram has been an industry leader in water tools for over 75 years. So founded in 1941 by John Dram, he invented the very first 400 water breaker, which has become the industry standard. Another reason Dram is an industry leader is the quality of their tools. Garden Time has been able to visit the factory in Wisconsin, where the tools are made and tested for their durability. We've seen where the tools are tested, the heads are slammed on the ground, the tools are dragged all around, and the valves are turned on and off repeatedly. Most gardeners are familiar with Dram's watering wand with the adjustable head for multiple patterns. Their newest product has that same great adjustable head, but it's telescopic, and it also has that great one-touch shutoff. So not only does Dram have the handheld watering tools, they also have a whole line of yard sprinklers, great for watering that larger area.
If you don't have the wand, many of us are familiar with the spray gun with the adjustable spray patterns. And new this year is the adjustable spray gun with the one-touch shutoff.
And for those of you that want to water but don't have to stay at home, you can use the Dram soaker hose and the timer. Hook this up to your garden faucet, set the time, and walk away.
So we've been talking about hoses and soaker hoses, but what if you can't get to a hose to use it? Well, Dram also has these great watering cans in many different colors, and you can even remove the little sprinkler head for a more direct spout. And Dram also makes Drammatic organic fertilizer, which is made from fish byproducts and kelp. So just follow the directions and you could put the concentrate into your watering can and then fertilize all your plants.
So not only does Dram have this great line of watering tools, but they have a whole line of cutting tools as well. This one came out a couple years ago and does a great job of doing a little bit of like deadheading, cutting in flowers to bring them into the house, or small little projects like that. They've also come out with a whole new line of bypass pruners, which are for those larger jobs. So not only can you water your yard, you can get out and do some pruning too. So to find any of these great tools or watering products from Dram, visit your local independent garden center. You'll see a huge display in a rainbow of colors. So for more information on Dram tools, go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to their website.
Our tip of the week is all about weeding. Sometimes you're in a rush and you go past your garden and you see a weed in full flower and you're too busy to pull the whole weed. So what you should do is just deadhead it, just take it right off. And don't leave that weed right in the garden on the ground there. Make sure that you take it and put it in the trash or the compost, because even though these flowers are dead, they can still germinate. And then as soon as possible, go back and take up the rest of the weed and make sure that you get as many of the roots as possible. Well, weeding in the garden and deadheading those weeds, that's our tip of the week.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
The fields are open. Come see the dahlias blooming at Swan Island Dahlias in Canby. The annual festival has been canceled, but you don't have to wait until the end of August to enjoy all the color. Safely walk the almost 40 acres of blooms. Pick up some cut flowers and visit our gift shop. Place an order for dahlia tubers online and receive 10% off your order through September. We're open 6 days a week through the end of September. Swan Island Dahlias, America's leading dahlia grower, located just off I-5 in Canby.
We all love our vegetable gardens, our herb gardens. We grow and we make lovely dishes in our kitchen. But what about growing these and making cocktails? I'm at Al's Garden Home with Eve, and Eve's going to tell us all about it. But first, Eve, what do you do here?
I am the customer experience manager, so I make sure everyone has a wonderful experience both in store and on our social media. So I do the videos and workshops and hone our Instagram channel.
Well, you know, I think this is a wonderful experience. And so tell us about some of these plants that we can use differently from our gardens.
Sure, yeah. We'll start with the most common, which is mint. Pretty much everybody has a mint plant somewhere in their garden. Maybe it's grown a little more than they wanted it to. Then we also have basil, which is so wonderful, just that scent. And then pineapple sage is another really fun one. The scent actually is of pineapple and has these beautiful red flowers that hummingbirds actually love. Ooh. And then lavender, right? There's lavender festivals going on right now. And then we have some citrus. It's been a big trend lately to add some Meyer lemons and some limes to your garden. And then what else have we got over there?
We got some blueberries?
Yeah, blueberries. It's the season for blueberries and blackberries and raspberries right now. So let's talk about how to use those in some cocktails.
You know, because we don't think about it. We think about baking, or we think about making some kind of a dinner dish. So it's going to be fun to talk about how to make a cocktail.
Yes, yes. So here at Al's, we actually are hosting a online class where we're teaching how to grow your own mojito. And there are some recipes to go along with it so that the novice will know how to do this correctly. But really, it's really very easy. You just go into your garden and find the mint for your mojito. There's different flavors of mint. There's, Kentucky Kernel. What is this one? Oh, this one's mojito mint, even better. Grab some big, nice, juicy leaves, pluck them off there, and then you'll put them actually into your glass. And when you drop them in there, you'll muddle it, and that means to kind of rough it up and push it down into the glass so it breaks up the leaves and it gives you that flavor. It actually releases the flavor of the mint. And then you pack in your ice and then your beverage, your rum, and then you shake it up and you've got a mojito, some lime juice and a little bit of simple syrup, which I actually was super excited. I found this recipe for strawberry mint simple syrup.
Oh, wow.
And it's very easy. It's just, equal parts sugar, water, and then you add your strawberries. And this isn't the most beautiful presentation, but it just kind of comes out like a little bit of a jelly. It's a thicker syrup. Just add that in your cocktail, stir it up. And I'm not one, I don't really like having a salad in my drink. So with the mojito, you end up with mint leaves that sometimes you end up chewing on.
Right.
So the mint is already in the simple syrup. So that's just an easy add to your cocktail.
And then you just strain out any of the leaves if you don't want it in there.
Exactly.
That makes it really easy. And really, you can do so many combinations and you can really just get creative. So look up a recipe, but then you can always change it.
Oh yeah. I mean, basil is not one that we normally think of in a mojito, but it does add a really fun little twist to it. So I definitely encourage people to be more creative with their cocktails. If you've got stuff in your garden, you just add a little lavender, see how that tastes. Add a little mint, add a little pineapple sage, just try it out.
It is true. And so Eve, if we want to do this, and you seem like you have everything on Al's website, so can we find it there?
Absolutely, yes. We will have the recipes on the website. The instructional video will be on the website, starring me. And then we will also have it on our YouTube channel, our Instagram TV, and on our Facebook. So you can't miss it.
Well, really, it's a different take on all these vegetables and all these herbs we've been growing for years in our garden. So please go to gardentime.tv and you can get clicked over to the Al's website and make some cocktails and have your friends over, socially distanced, of course, tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
So for the parts of your life that just can't stop, it's essential to keep moving forward safely. And now it's easier than ever to own a brand new Subaru from Capital. Not only can you shop hundreds of Subarus online and get questions answered instantly, but now you can test drive, finance, and even complete your purchase all from the comfort of your home. So keep planning for the future. We'll be here to help make the road ahead just a little bit smoother. Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Enjoy a summer of art and color. Visit the Oregon Garden for Art in the Garden now through the end of September. See outstanding and inspired art that represents both traditional and modern styles, carefully placed throughout the garden. See the combination of beautiful plants and great art as you stroll the gardens. Just pick up your map at the Visitors Center on your next visit. For details, go to OregonGarden.org. Art in the Garden is presented by Capital Subaru.
I'm out here at Caddy Farms. I'm with Reg, and Reg, it's harvest season, and what are we harvesting today?
Ryan, we're harvesting coriander seeds today.
Coriander. And, you hear of coriander, but where does coriander come from?
Well, interesting you ask. Coriander actually comes from cilantro. Cilantro that has actually gone to seed.
Which it tends, if it's like my garden, I turn away for 2 seconds and my coriander has come up and it's gone to flower overnight. And then, so you just leave that and that's what turns to the coriander.
Yep, and that's what we have right here is cilantro that we forgot about.
So you just let it go to seed?
Yep.
And then this is in its harvest state?
Yes. And as you can see from the tops of the plants that we took here are the seeds itself. And what we do is we like to say it's a labor of love because it's a lot of work to get all these seeds off.
Right.
But what we do is clean them up, and then what we're left with is all these
with the coriander seeds.
Yep.
And so, we're out here, and what is Caddy Farms, and what are you doing with the seeds and what you're harvesting?
Thanks for asking. We've been here for a little over 5 years. We've developed an event space where we can have everything from weddings to birthday parties to holiday get-togethers, as well as corporate events.
That's great. And then you said you have kitchen space, right?
We have a commercial kitchen that we actually built from, or I should say we remodeled our old house, and we developed into a commercial kitchen with space for up to 16 people inside, non-COVID.
Right.
But plenty of room outside in our current COVID restrictions.
And you have this, lots of acreage out here. So when you have these events and spaces, people are able to come out and meander around and have their space.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of space at the venue where we can lay out tables and keep everybody compliant and socially distanced.
Right. And you talked about your commercial kitchen, so let's take our coriander and head over to the kitchen and see what we can do with it.
Very good.
Well, we've harvested our coriander, we've brought it back up to the kitchen, and I'm up here with Christopher from, what are we making, Christopher?
Well, we're going to highlight coriander in a couple of different things. Not a lot of people are familiar with the fact that you really need to toast those seeds in order to bring out that citrusy and floral aspect to them. A lot of times you'll see them come like this in the store or ground in that nature, and a little toast always helps out to bring that flavor forward.
And so we're making a couple dishes today. It looks like you're prepping some herbs.
Exactly. So I normally use a little bit of cilantro and also Italian parsley when making salsa verde. Inside with capers and some ground coriander, garlic, and lemon. And so that all comes together with a little olive oil.
So for people that aren't familiar with coriander or the flavoring of coriander, kind of what does it taste like and what do you use?
It just has a nice, almost like lemony orange flavor to it. It pairs really well with cumin and goes into actually a lot of Middle Eastern and Indian dishes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it just provides a subtle note that a lot of people can't place, and so it makes for an interesting addition into things like that.
Now you have an event coming up. You're with the Art of Catering, and you have an event coming up out here at Caddy Farm.
Yes.
You're going to be highlighting some of these herbs, like the coriander. So tell me a little bit about the event that you have coming up next week.
So we're really, really excited about the relationship with Caddy that we're going to be highlighting and doing a few events out here, actually. This coming Thursday, we're doing a 4-course wine and food dinner that we're going to be able to highlight coriander and some greens from the garden and just kind of those local vegetables from here. It should be a really fun time.
Right. And the setting, it sounds like it's going to be outside. We have this beautiful weather that we're able to accommodate, the people outside. And you guys are catering this and, using a lot of these local fresh ingredients.
Absolutely. I mean, the area around here is just spectacular.
Right.
And so it's the perfect setting to really highlight all those ingredients that we're getting from the farm here.
And so, it looks like we've got a lot of these things prepped here. And so we have our bowl here. And so tell us a little bit about what's in our bowl here.
So basically in this bowl is going to be the chopped capers, cilantro, parsley, and a little bit of garlic. And then you just basically sprinkle in coriander and fresh olive oil that goes into there. And you only want it to bind together. And so you don't want it to be too terribly oily, but you want it to hold its shape.
Okay.
And so I'll go in with that, and then a fresh squeeze of lemon at the end.
And then you just use that as a salsa on...
Exactly. It goes really well on grilled steak, grilled pork chops. You can use it on fish, any of those things.
Well, that salsa smells really good. So tell me a little bit more about the Art of Catering and what you guys do.
So we are a full-service catering company. We've been around for 23 years, and we do everything from 8 people to 600 people.
Oh, wow. And you guys have partnered up with Caddy Farms to put on these, this great event that's coming up next week.
Absolutely. We're really excited to feature all the wonderful ingredients.
So for more information on, Caddy Farms, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over. You can get information about, the Art of Catering, any of the other events going on out at Caddy Farm. So, Christopher, it's been a pleasure. It smells delicious, and we can't wait to try it.
Thank you so much.
These days we're wearing a mask to protect ourselves and our family and friends, But what about protecting yourself from the sun? We wear like sunscreen and SPF 30, which is a great one. If you want to go to SPF 50, that's also great, but the percentage more isn't that much greater. So really you can save just a little bit of money and using an SPF 30. And remember, the key to sunscreen is to reapply it often so that you're protected. But you know, there's also clothing that you can use that's actually UPF. It's a different kind of a symbol, and so it's usually UPF 50. And many retailers carry clothing, which is great. And I'm at Al's Garden and Home, and they carry hats. And so why don't be fashionable and protecting your neck, your face, and your head with a protectant against the sun. So many different styles, and you can be at the beach, at the park, even in your backyard gardening and have protection. So we want everyone to be healthy and safe this summer. So maybe you should go get a hat with UPF protection.
Judy, what are you doing?
You said to follow you.
Follow us on Facebook.
Oh, man. Well, we invite all of our viewers to follow the Garden Time page on Facebook.
And on our Facebook page, you'll find links to stories, you'll see upcoming events, and you also might even find a funny joke or two.
So don't forget, go to the gardentime.tv webpage and click the link for Facebook.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
I'm out here at Stoller Vineyards. I'm with Jason. Jason, what are you guys doing to the vines this time of year and your grapes?
Well, right now the vines have we've done it all to them, and we're playing the waiting game to ripeness. So we've worked our canopies so they're grown really tall. They're all put in their wires and positioned into a vertical shoot position. That's what we call this, VSP. We've worked hard to make sure that the canopy is open in the fruit zone so that we have a lot of airflow to keep disease out, but not too open, because right now it's 90 degrees here today.
Right.
And we have on the east face, the hottest part of the day, some umbrellas, little sombreros to cover the fruit so that we don't get sunburned. However, if we were to go to the other side, we've done a lot of work to pull all those leaves off that morning sun side so that we can get early drying, early sunlight, and the cooler sunlight in the morning. That helps ripeness and helps create more flavors in Pinot Noir.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now you guys, you do things a little bit differently out here on the farm than what maybe a homeowner might use, and they have some questions about what they're supposed to be doing to their.
So this time of year, a lot of homeowners, you'd find, like even at my home, the vines don't look this tidy. We don't spend as much time shoot positioning vertically. You'll see a lot of flop and things hanging to the ground, and fruit will be up in this zone. I would say at this point in time, after we get through the really hot weather and you see 10 days of decent warm, like 80-degree days instead of 90-degree days, get in there and pull the leaves away from the fruit that may be in the canopy on the morning sun side, so that it can do just that. Warm up your grapes early, dry them out, get rid of the disease, let the open air flow through there. But again, you don't want to do that when you see 100 or 90-degree days on the horizon. And they've been pretty good about forecasting, so we pay a lot of attention to the weather.
Pay attention to the weather.
Absolutely.
And now's a great time to start watching that and getting ready to the tip. So
that's right.
Jason, I appreciate being out here with you. And now I think we're going to take it inside and we're going to go talk to Melissa about this beautiful new experience center that you have. So now we've moved inside with Melissa to this beautiful new experience center. Tell me about this center and what spurred this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is brand new, and we opened this 2 weeks into July, and it is an experience center. So here at Stoller, we have a beautiful tasting room that guests can come and enjoy the property and spread out. And as we've grown as a company, we took the opportunity to to open this so we can host more people. There's a lot of space inside and out. There's about 3,500 square foot inside and 4,000 square feet outside in this resort-like patio.
Right, the patio
here.
is stunning out with with everything in the background.
Yeah.
And then there's like a lot of like technology in here too, and interactive things that people
Yeah,
can learn.
absolutely. We're really excited about that. So we've got right behind us here, we've got a 26-foot screen, and we have another one. It's going to be a kind of virtual screen, a moving piece of art on the other side, and we can use these. We have a big pull-down screen as well in the middle here, right in the middle of these doors,
Right.
so we can do games and movies. We can work with businesses and show videos and such.
Do all these private events or corporate events. Right? So it really
Absolutely.
opens up what you're able to do out here, and
it does. And
and the interactive tables that I was playing on earlier, just to show touchscreen about where the vines are coming from and what's planted where. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's neat. So guests can come in. There's a few of these tables positioned throughout the space where you can sit with your glass of wine and their touch screen. So you can learn about not only solar, but about the area too. And as you're enjoying your wine, you can have this interaction of education. And then one piece that is not quite ready, but it's coming soon, is we're doing a virtual experience. So you will wear, the guests can wear these Oculus goggles, right? And it's 3D, and you'll learn about how this area was formed. You'll be able to pick grapes from a vine and make wine and kind of go through this whole 15-minute experience. So it's going to be really unique for the industry for sure. We're excited about that.
So if people are coming out, you have this amazing new facility with all this music and sound and technology. How do people come out and experience this stuff?
Well, right now we are taking reservations for visits to either tasting room here or this experience center. So that's online at stolarfamilyestate.com. I think Garden Time will also link to Stolar, but it's reservation. We're open here on the weekends, 7 days a week between the two facilities, a tasting room and this experience center. So
very cool.
Yeah,
So
make a
Melissa, I
reservation.
appreciate you having us out here and get to enjoy this beautiful new facility. So
Yeah, my pleasure.
you can always go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to the Stolar Family Estate website. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Come visit.
Thank you for watching Garden Time. We hope everybody's staying cool and safe in their gardens.
And for more information about today's show, go to gardentime.tv. Ryan and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
Located in the heart of Willamette Valley's hops, hazelnut, and wine country, Caddy Farms is a beautiful option for your upcoming wedding or event. Enjoy the diverse venue the over 40-acre farm offers, with manicured gardens, a private forest and spacious meadow, chef's kitchen, and covered patios. All just 5 minutes off of I-5 in Aurora, Oregon. Caddy Farms, now booking upcoming events.
Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements. The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.